Hi everybody, welcome back to Currency. Glad to have you back. I want to talk about the episode I put out called Hypercrit. I put it out and then I lost 10 subscribers. The last solo episode I put out. And so I don't know what I said to lose the 10 subscribers. I thought that it was a bot purge. I lost them all like immediately. And I thought it was a bot purge, but the next episode I put out, Lucas Mateus, was also really low viewed, like way less than it should have. I thought that episode would be a big hit, but so I wanted to explain what I meant in that episode and go through and whatever, like try to figure out whatever it was about it, and also be personable and fun and likable at the same time. So that's another factor involved, is like maintaining my likability while doing it, and keeping ugliness at a low or whatever in terms of words and appearances. And like appearance includes like skin condition and stuff like that, which at this point, I mean, like I'm not going to be able to fix that during the episode. That's really something I'm just going to have to rely on this condition my skin was already in before the episode started. But like basically, in order for it to pass, like I hope it wasn't that people tuned out because they're like, this is the last time I can look at his ashy skin. Like this is the very last time I can take it. Like that was the last straw. I felt like the thumbnail I put out was one of the best thumbnails I put for that episode, for a solo episode, because it was just kind of funny and not like ironic. And so maybe people saw that photo because I was like looking at the camera, and people were like, maybe I looked at the camera too much. But I wanted to talk about like hatred and love, and like the kind of hate that I'm talking about, because I'm like, oh, people hate me more than other people. That is a little bit what I think, and I will push forward saying that is what I meant. It's beside the point whether or not you believe people hate me more. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily beside the point, but like what I'm talking about is kind of like a difference between hatred and love. And first of all, I don't really care about hatred and love that much because I'm 32 years old, and like love is for babies and kids and dogs and cats just in general. People that are younger like it more because they are being told new things about themselves all the time. Somebody like me at the point that you're 32, your love goes out the door a little bit more and more, and like romanticism goes out the door. Just as you get older, I believe is how it works. With age, less love is in your life, or like you care less about it, or it's just like you're not going to get got by it. You're not going to get affected by it. It's just as much is just true, because it's like you've been around the block and you've heard all of the shit that's been thrown your way, that's been called to you before. And I don't know if there's other people's view of love, but I think that love objectively to me is kind of like a condescending thing. I think it's kind of negative, and I've spoken many times about how I'm not a big fan of love, or it's like overrated, or whatever more negative things need to be said about it, because it's pretty much all positive. There's just only love for love, but like it's kind of a condescending thing. And like when you're a kid, you're hearing everything you hear about yourself is like you've never heard it before, or like new words or new criticisms that could apply to you or somebody else. It's all new, so you're not even like, you don't even care about the love. Besides that, like all the best love songs are written by people in their early 20s, and it's like as you get older, people as they get older they can't write as good of songs, and like the lyrics are lame, or they're better when you're younger because you're so like Olivia Rodrigo can only write the song Good For You because she's like actually heartbroken. Like you can only write a song that good if you're like really feel it, and you're only when you're that young, or do you believe in love that much to like get your heart broken, whatever, you know. And it's because like I've heard all of the jokes at this point, and the way that I would feel the love is if somebody criticized me with generally like one example of like I might feel the love is if somebody says something I haven't heard before, an insult at my direction I haven't heard before, like that would make me feel criticized, and that's what I think love is. I'm not complaining. First of all, I'm not complaining about all of it because I don't really care about the drama of love and hatred. If you want to bully me at age 32, go right ahead because, like, I don't. I mean, I've seen all of it. Even if you are criticizing me, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I don't really care anymore. I've been around the block, and most criticisms people throw out your way are just ones I've heard before. Like, if somebody makes fun of me for being a woman or for being a baby, it's just like there's so little creativity in that. And I've heard it so many times. Like, you're gonna have to work, you're gonna have to do something else if you really want me to pay attention to that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna think you're a fucking idiot. Because you're just introducing this nonsense thing about, like, you're a woman. And so I can't draw anything from that, and I just think you're stupid, especially if you're a stranger, especially if you don't know me, and especially if you go out of your way to, like, actually say that and actually be like, oh, you should think about this, you're such a woman, like, you say it in this unfriendly way, like, that's something I should think about. Like, that's really gay, because it's like, oh, you really want me to, like, what do you want me to do with that? You want me to believe that I'm a woman, like, have that be something I contend with or have to overcome in my life? Like, you want me to think that about myself, or what? When that is so, like, false. So it's like, somebody could call me a bitch, and that's would be a little closer to the truth of, like, what I actually am. Like, I'm not really a woman. I might be closer to being a bitch or whatever. But, like, I've heard it before, so I'm not really interested. You have to be more creative in order for me to feel the love. You have to be like, you dumb bitch, or something like that. Something that I haven't heard before, in order for me to care about it. But, like, the thing I was thinking about when I said I get more hate than other people is, like, I just, I'm at liberty to talk about the shittiness, even if it makes me lose people, lose subscribers. It's just like, people kind of turn away at negativity regardless. But I'm really just trying to talk about criticism objectively. I'm not trying to paint that there's a winner or a loser. Like, I'm not complaining about it, and I don't feel criticized, and I don't feel loved, and that is not something I have a problem with. Like, I'm saying I'm more unloved than other people, and that's kind of why more hate gets sent my way, because people are more trying to put me in my place, or it's like, you should be more humble, or you should feel the love more. But, like, if people come at you with criticism, and they're saying that they are at grounds to try to love you, condescend to you, which I think is what love is like being condescending, in some senses. It's kind of like hate and love. It's hard to parse the two of them, in my mind at least, but love is when, like, oh, you actually criticize me. And so I wouldn't be complaining about that, because that, I love that. I love the love. I love feeling the love. If I get to be criticized, it's like, oh, you said something new. At this point, it happens so seldom because I'm 32. I've been around the block. I've heard all the shit called about me. It's just kind of like a celebration, like, oh my god, I felt the love. Like, oh my god, you fucking criticized me. That's amazing. Like, so I'm not complaining about that. But, like, yeah, you call me a bitch, and, like, then now you're getting closer to, like, oh, I might actually feel made fun of by that. But regardless, yeah, it's kind of gay, because you're like, it's not seen as a positive thing in society to, like, be going around criticizing people, especially with things that are entirely false, like you're a baby. Like, society doesn't... You're not going to get anywhere in society, because society awards people who follow the rules. They don't reward critics or people who put themselves in the position of being a loser. So it's like, yeah, it's like, what do you want me to do with that thing that you just criticized me with? When people are being really shitty, they're like, oh, what you are is this. You know what I mean? It's more like, I'm more interested in what motivates these people, because I don't go out of my way to call somebody a baby or anything. I might do it, like, for fun, because it's trendy, like when that's the trend and everybody's saying baby. But, like, and I don't care about it when fast food workers do it, like they do some snap judgment, they call you a boss, or they call you a sweetheart, or they call you a baby. But it's like, in general, I think it's a little, like, who gets to the place where they're comfortable just flippantly calling everybody sweetheart like that they're strangers with? I feel like that sounds pretty condescending. I would lay off calling anybody a sweetheart in any situation, you know. So like I don't really care if somebody says that to me. But like, what are you, Jeffrey Dahmer or something? Why are you making my heart sweet? You want to eat it? What's a sweet heart? It's a sour. I don't think my heart is sour or sweet. It's just a heart. Like, eat. You want to eat my heart out? You had some of my heart. Is that? Just take them really seriously. Get really mad at them. That's the best course of action. See, do you see it? And you saw it was all coated in sugar. You saw my heart. You don't even know if I have one, so I don't know. Oh yeah, I bet you've got a sweet heart too. Yeah, you don't even. I've got a second liver instead of a heart. So nice try. You should have said sweet liver when I rolled up here, idiot. That's what you got to do, because like these people are out of control. Just get really mad, and then that's how you communicate your ideas. It's through sarcasm. People get it. They'll know right away. They'll be like, oh, do you have a heart? Even you don't even. Can you see mine? No. So what's up? Now? But they should just be like. Yeah, what? Okay, pussy, you got the Big Mac and whatever, ice cream, of course, bitch. That's no surprise, of course you did. I already know so much about you just from hearing you one time, because fuck you, large fries, pig. And they should do that if they're just going to say sweetheart. And they're like, does that complete your order? Okay, have a nice day, sweetheart. You know. They should say that if they're just going to be like, yeah. I think calling someone a pussy isn't that much. Like, it's not that different from calling someone a sweetheart. So they might just be like, okay, shithead, you got the number 3 or something. Yeah, whatever. Have a good day, fuckface. I said have a good day. So, like, take it. Accept it. Like, sit. Don't be all critical of it. Like, oh, I didn't want to be called fuckface today. So, like, everybody's calling everybody fuckface, so it's just like, you're not special. You're a fuckface, alright? You got an ice cream, and so you're big old sweetheart, or whatever. I don't, you know, and I don't care for those kinds of things. These kinds of attitudes. And, wherever at Taco Bell. And you know what? We're mean to Taco Bell. We shit on it. For them making us shit. We shit on Taco Bell as much as we shit it out. And I think, you know what, guys, like, hey, cut it out with all the gags and all the fucking funny, like, burritos make you fart and all of that. We're like, yeah, beans make you fart, and we know, so it's like, you don't have to keep, it's like, yeah, Taco Bell isn't the only place that does beans, so, guys, stop being mean. Taco Bell's had it bad enough. All right, don't lay off. They don't make you fart every time. I think that there's times I've gotten Taco Bell and didn't fart. I think, as far as I know, I didn't record every time. Is everybody, is there documented evidence? Or is everybody's a scientist now? Does everyone knows that Taco Bell makes you fart? So, I guess we're all on the side of science over here because you did the research? Yeah. That's what I thought. If you go, like, just go out of your way, yeah, Taco Bell did it. It's Taco Bell's the culprit. Taco Bell's the villain. Oh, yeah, they're always the boogeyman, of course, just because of, like, their economic strategies. So we got to put it on them. So we got to paint this picture that they're making us fart. Yeah. So, like, I'm just, I'm just kidding around. I'm just, like, having some fun. And, but I guess I should remind people that I'm just kind of having some fun out here. And that's when you're having the most fun, is when you remind people that you're having it, of course. It's like, I'm having fun right now, and I had fun in the last episode that I lost all those subscribers. I was having fun, and fun was had, and it's going to be had again, and we're going to keep having fun. So, yeah, so, like, then these are the ways that happens. But, that's neither nor. It's either or. But like, it's just that the thing is, I like to talk about criticism because, and so in the last episode, I was like, I don't know what it was I said that made people turn away. I won't talk. Maybe I'll talk about it the whole time. I don't know, but I don't know what the fuck it was I said specifically. It might have just been like when I said something uncool. I was like, I had all these hardcore Christian friends that made me stay in the church because they were mean to keep me in there or something like that. And, people might have turned away at that just because it sounded uncool. And if you're uncool in this world, then you're a sinner, whatever people judge you. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, I wanted to clarify what I meant, which was just that I had all these cool friends. What I meant to say is what I was trying to say is like, I have all these cool friends in the church that were on the fringes of Christianity like me, because I was on the fringes right before I left. Like, you're on the fringes if you leave, because I left. So the fringes where I was just before, where I was a lot of the time. I just like live on the fringe, and that's why my life goes so hard. And like the things that I say, they just like, so I'm like bragging. I was being a little braggish or whatever. But people don't like a blonde guy. I know I'm like a repulsive white blonde guy. So what I meant to say is just like, I have all these cool friends. That's all I was saying. So I'm sorry if it sounded cringe, but the cringe it happens. Not everybody is entirely immune from that. Not everybody is cool every minute. But like, I know like I'm a repulsive white blonde guy, and like we don't like listen to blonde guys, and there should be more. It's just that like people hate blonde people, and all of the fucking shit, all of it is like, people will recognize that we hate gingers, and how like the black community accepted gingers. That's not real, because nobody speaks for all black people. So I don't know who said that, like Black Lives Matter decided, or what was it? The victimhood of black people society, VBS decided that. Like, who is like, because I don't think all black people agree, like, oh yeah, gingers are black people now or whatever. So I feel like that is mostly just bullshit. But apparently gingers are so oppressed that they're like, okay, like black people have decided that they're oppressed too. But the thing is that blonde people are hated just for, like, how it is. We hate blondes, but we're not even going to get spoken about. That's how much they're hated. Like, we're not going to take the time to be like, we hate them, because like they're just supposed to live with it. Because like we hate all that, whatever like Hitler was on about shit, or people want to make it about Hitler or something. I don't even like blonde people. I get it. Like, I understand. Like, blonde men and women, I don't like them either when I see them. It's because like there's this societal expectation to like have black or brown hair, basically. It doesn't just apply to gingers, it applies to blondes as well. Because you're supposed to look like Jesus. If you're a man, basically, Jesus had black and brown hair. And people will say this all the time. They'll be like, people always paint Jesus like he has blonde hair and blue eyes. And like, I don't think I've ever seen a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus portrayed. I don't think I've seen Jesus portrayed that way even once in my life. Maybe one time out of like 2,000 or 3,000 images of him, he's blonde. Like, I bet that they probably have them. It's just like in America, I don't ever see it. Maybe they do that in Sweden or something. I'm not really sure. And I've only ever seen brown-eyed, brown-haired Jesus, and the people are like, yeah, I hate when Jesus is blonde and blue-eyed. That's how much people hate blonde people, is they will disfigure Jesus just so they can have something to hate about blonde people, just so they can hate blonde people more. They'll remember Jesus wrong, but like the remembering Jesus is all just like a big pissing contest about like why would it matter what a guy that none of us have seen? We don't have any real pictures of him. We can figure he might have looked like this, but for people to be like really strict about the way that he should have looked is just kind of like, you're just being superstitious. You're standing over Jesus, the image, to control it. You're standing over Jesus. You're standing over his grave. But it's not really his grave. It's a rolled away stone, which is even more egregious because he's still alive. You're standing over the grave of a guy that's still alive. to be like, he should look like this. He's gone now, and so we get to control the pictures of it. Isn't it supposed to be that he's alive? It's like people want it both ways. And you should only get one. Did Jesus die or is he alive? Whatever. You don't get, like, now that he's alive, I feel like all of the focus of him being dead is, like, kind of beside the point. Like, it's kind of, that's over. If you believe, because most of the people that believe he died also believe he rose again, and that's why they, like, get to claim superiority and, like, immortality. Because, like, Jesus lived forever, and I'm claiming the guy that defeats death. So, like, don't talk about his death. You don't get to talk about his death then. And you don't get to walk around with a cross on your body. Because, like, you know. And there's that Bill Hicks joke about it. About, like, Jesus ain't gonna... When Jesus comes back, you think he's gonna want to see a cross, you know? That's Bill Hicks' joke about it. That a lot of people know. But, like, I like to talk about criticism, and I just kind of like to talk about it, but I get that people get sensitive. People have these rules and they get sensitive about criticism, where it's like, if you talk about it, then you start to look like you are affected by it. You look like a person who's criticized. Are you trying to tell me you're a victim? Is that why you feel bad about it? So that people are like, you better not be telling me you feel bad right now. Whatever, you better not call yourself a loser either. Because then we know that you're gross and you're not doing anything to help yourself out. And that's definitely what you mean. And we know that that's what you mean. And people all walk around acting like they're psychiatrists. Or they're, like, intuitive. They get to assume things about you. I try to assume as little about other people as possible. Just in general. And I don't like all of that psychiatry bullshit. Where people want to, like, love you. And, like, put a criticism on you. Because they think that not that they think they're helping you out or whatever. It's like people don't really think about these things. I'm not saying that there are intentions behind when people... Sometimes it's, like, more intentional, and that's when it's grosser, and that's when it's stupider, in my opinion. Is when it is more like somebody goes out of the way to make sure you heard the criticism because they are criticizing you. So it's like when people get to that point is when it's more like, oh, you want a fight to happen, so you're... just, like, traditionally speaking, like, that's kind of primitive or whatever. Like, I'm fighting with you. Like, you are being so gross that I have to tell you this or whatever. If people really... it's grosser the more intentional it gets, so I don't know how intentional people get about it. But, like, whether they're playing psychiatrists or, like, they think that you need the help or something. Like, oh, this guy has abandonment issues... something. If I don't tell you I have any of these problems, I don't have any of them. It's definitely the way it should work. I might say I'm bipolar. I would never say I have bipolar disorder because it's not a disorder. It's just an adjective. And I am bipolar, I think. But it's not, it's functional, you know. I'm looking into getting some Prozac. That might be fun. I heard Chris D'Elia say that he takes it and it made a big difference in his life and he really liked it. So that's enough for me. If Chris D'Elia says it for some reason. I'm a fan of Chris D'Elia, I'll tell you that. And he has a podcast like mine where he talks solo. And he does a lot better than me, and I wish that I was funny like he was all the time. So I'm just, like, talking about some of my influences. I don't want to pay... I'm not taking Prozac in the short term, though, because I don't want to pay for it. I don't have, like, a huge budget at this time. But I recently... I'll tell you a little bit about my life. Let me tell you about my life, as Big Sean used to say. But I'm kidding, because I know that it's not Big Sean. That's the fun little secret that I have. I have fun little secrets, but, like, the thing is that, because it wasn't Big Sean that said it, but I know in my brain the trivia knowledge. Trivia. Yeah, that's just trivial. That's trivial. Don't say that you know anything by saying that. It's trivial, the thing that you know. I mean, how condescending is trivia? The people call it that. And so it's just like people, you start talking about criticism. If you have an opinion on it, I could see why people turn away. But it's like, these are the walls I'm trying to break down. This is what I'm trying to trailblaze through. It's just like, people don't want to have an opinion about criticism. They just want to be like, criticism doesn't affect me and I don't care about it. And because if you have an opinion, you might look criticized. You also might just as easily look like the criticizer, and that's even worse than you painting yourself as a loser, is like you painting yourself as a winner. And so it's like, I feel like more should be spoken about criticism, like when people criticize each other, because it might be one of the big things at the root of what's causing people's anxiety, what causes people these mental issues, because there's all this talk about mental health. Like, we need to have more of a dialogue about mental health. Talk more about it, like the ways we're affected. If you're going to do that, I feel like the new wave, and I'm like the new thing where people caught on to like, oh, we really do have mental problems or something like that. Because people do. People are fucked up in their head, and then they get addicted to pills or addicted to something to take care of it, instead of relying on the people around them. And is that the best way of doing it? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe like relying on drugs is probably fine if it makes you happy. It couldn't be that bad. If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? That's an original. I just thought about that off of the top of the dome of my head, off of the top of my cranium came up with this poem that I just like, and I extracted it with my speech, and it was totally original to me, and nobody's ever said it before. And like incredible thoughts or whatever. Incredible thoughts. How does my brain contain them? Whatever that is, whatever the words are for that song. No, you might look like the over-criticizer, which is probably more what the case was in my last episode. They probably just thought I was an asshole. And I was asking ChatGPT about it, because you're not supposed to look like somebody who's critical of other people either. You can't take an opinion on it. And it has to do with, like, people don't want to admit the competition of things and that people win and lose at something every day. So, like, that's what I'm bringing up. Like, we should really just kind of... Maybe we should use hypercrit and hypocrite more regularly. We should call ourselves and other people winners and losers more regularly. It's like people are afraid of it, because then that would mean they have to admit that they're a loser at something. So most people don't want to get into it. They don't even want to talk about criticism. But it's possible that criticism is one of the root causes of like anxiety. Like, that's a deeper way of discussing mental health if people really want to talk about that. Because it's like, I believe that if you get criticized with something and it's undefinable to you, like it's something you've never heard before, so it's more chance that it'll affect you or something, or more chance that you won't be able to define it as applies to you. And it's different the first time somebody calls you something versus the first time you call yourself it. It's worse somebody else calls you it if it's something really that applies to you. But like, just comment. I know that it is, I feel like, as far as I know, I care about it less to talk about it, all of it, because I feel like people are generally, why they wouldn't say anything about it is because they might feel trapped by criticism, or they're like, people are afraid of being criticized, so they don't want to go outside of it to have opinions on it, and people will lament your actions if you do in some cases. Just comment and tell me if I'm on the right track. I don't know like if like it is maybe just a bunch of dribble or something. So I don't really know, especially if a bunch of people leave when I start talking about it. So like, if you want to comment and tell me like if I love your feedback or whatever. Tell me if I could improve. Just tell me if I could improve. But like, if I'm on the right track with all of it, or if it's like, oh, I should drop the subject entirely. It might be more. I mean, like, whatever, because I don't know if this things I'm saying, if like this is good, or if I'm on the right track with the things I'm saying. Because it's like the song "Stressed Out" by 21 Pilots has like 3.5 billion views on YouTube. That song is not that good. It's not that good of a song. People really liked it because of the theme, because of the words they were saying, because they said something that was so innovatively true at the time. Like, nobody was able to popularize like, I care what you think, or whatever. There's some of the words in the song. I'm stressed out because of whatever, like things, basically because of anxiety, or like people putting pressure on them, or, like I'm stressed out because of what people think, and central to the theme of it, I believe. And so why does a song like that get 3.5 billion views? It's just about when the song isn't that good, it's just about the lyrics. People like what they're talking about. And so of course it has to ring true. It's just kind of like, it sort of died. Like, it sort of dies at that. Or there wasn't like much more profound, people didn't really build off of that in the ensuing decade after that song was made. I wouldn't say, because people are just as much like, you just sound like a bitch if you're talking about it. I feel like, I mean, not that it needs to be spoken about. I'm just like going into it, but like, and it's because like people are afraid to talk about it. People don't want it to be winners and losers. Like, you're not supposed to say you're a loser. That will make you look like a loser. So people will generally be like, no, you're not a loser if you say that about yourself. Or it's just considered ugly. And you definitely can't, and you can't say that you're a winner either. Like, you can't use those words. Like, if I have a comedy set and I kill, and I come off the stage and I start telling people, I won, or whatever, I'm a winner. I'm the winner. If I say that like that, they'll probably be like, ew. They'll probably go to the length of not even giving me credit for having a good performance. Because, like, now I'm going around saying I'm a winner. It's like, no, you didn't win at anything. You're not supposed to, it's just like, you're not supposed to say that. I feel like it's the case. But just the extent that we, we talk about winners and losers every day. I mean, like, we are winners and losers every day. We win and lose at something. If you don't lose at something every day, you're probably having a boring life. Like, you should, like, there's all kinds of little competitions. A conversation is a versus, and that's what the verse and conversation comes from, is the same word for verses. It's a conversation, it's a battle. Just a conversation is a meeting of two different people that came from different places. Like, yeah, everybody's the same, but, like, it's also true that everybody's different. It's also a competition. Every day, everything that happens is a competition, especially the more that you're out in public. The less that it's, like, if you're at home all the time and you're less engaged in competitions, it's less like that. But, like, the waking world just kind of is very competitive, so you sort of win and lose at something every day. So it just should be totally natural to call yourself a winner or a loser. But, like, you can't call yourself a loser. You especially can't call yourself a victim, which is, like, it's just as easy to be a victim as it is to be a loser. You are a victim of, because being a victim just means something bad happened to you, basically. But people really don't like you. There's a witch hunt for if you're acting like a victim, like, oh no, you definitely weren't a victim. And if you were a victim of something, we're going to try to make it good, or like, and people are always trying to find the silver lining in, like, the bad thing that happened to you. Or like, no, you're not a victim of that. That happens to everybody. Everybody's the same. Like, don't mention this about winners and losers. Like, don't have opinions about hatred. Hatred is distributed evenly to everyone. Bad is given evenly to everybody. Like, because, like, you say you're a victim, it's really insignificant to be a victim. It's just like something bad happened to you. Like, I was a victim of losing 12 subscribers in my last episode. That's just the definition of victim. That's just the definition of it. So, like, everybody's kind of a victim everywhere all the time. But people are like, oh, you definitely can't call yourself a victim. And, like, if you think that you are, it's probably, you're just misguided and you need to learn a lesson from the rest of us. We'll tell you that it was actually something good that happened to you. You're just stupid and thought something bad happened to you. To think in your head that you're a victim, whatever, just because society, I think it's because society doesn't like these winners and losers labels. They don't, and so I try to come up with the word hypocrite. People are like, I mean, people turn away, I guess, in general. I mean, it's a hypercritical idea, so, like, people are like, see the hypercritical ways I'm acting in theme with the episode, and they get out the door, or they leave, or whatever. And the hypercriticism, oh my god, is just so, it's actually a useful term that I'm introducing, the hypocrite. It might sound like a joke, and if I didn't create it, somebody else would. It's, like, probably about to happen. If people care about it at all into the future, somebody would make it and somebody would start saying it. I just feel like definitely in contrast to hypocrite, which we say all the time and we're putting on people all the time, and everybody knows it's a really bad thing to be a hypocrite, or to be considered one, and the best way to combat that technically would to be like hypocrite. There's like a word for hypocrite. Like you can combat that in your own life, somebody calling you a hypocrite, by being like, no, well, you're just being a hypocrite to call me that. You're being the over criticizer to call me the under criticizer. I'll explain why this thing is real. So I was talking about in the Rory McIlroy deal that I was talking about in the last episode. I was talking about how during the Ryder Cup, Rory McIlroy, Team Europe came over here. They won the Ryder Cup, and while Rory McIlroy was on the course playing golf, the American crowds were being too critical of him. And Rory McIlroy was critical of the American crowds in response. Like two of them at the time, he called them names for calling him names, and in press conferences after, he's like, the crowds suck here or whatever. And basically he's like, hey, you can't criticize me. Like you guys are being too critical. And then the American crowds responded by being like, well, you're being critical to criticize us. Like, you're a hypocrite. So like, now Rory McIlroy's a hypocrite for being critical of them, but he's a criticizer. And the American crowds are also hypocrites for being critical of Rory McIlroy while being criticizers, while criticizing him. So, unless we have the word hypocrite, we just before that, because it's like you look up the definition, you look up the word, it doesn't exist, basically, there, as far as I remember it. As far as I searched, I didn't think there was like dictionaries don't have it in general, is what I think I found. Regardless, like basically not a word. If we don't have that word, everybody gets to call everybody a hypocrite in one of those situations, which it's the same any situation. If you're like, if I'm like eating ice cream is evil, you can't eat ice cream, you're eating ice cream, but I eat ice cream. That person, if they want to play the game, they want to play along, they get sucked into the drama that I'm presenting of criticism. If they get mad at it, they get affected by it, they come back to me and they're like, hey, but you're eating ice cream. You don't get to eat ice cream. While that person is eating ice cream. Now you're both hypocrites. It's like this kind of thing happens regardless. So it's like, basically this needs to be sorted out. And the reason we don't sort it out is people don't want to admit levels to things, that some people are right in some situations, just that people are more right than other people. And I'm not saying that people are afraid, like, oh, you're using words of superiority or something. People are more right than other people, either temporarily in 1 week, I'm more right than some of my roommates, and then the next week they'll be more right than me. Like, different people are more right than other people, even sometimes for a whole lifetime. Some people are more wrong than other people for a whole lifetime or whatever. Some people are more worse than other people, or some people are smarter than other people for a whole lifetime or just for a week or whatever, you know. It's definitely not distributed the same to everybody at all times. Like, that's a ridiculous idea. People like to harken back to like, well, all of us are the same, because then we have to start admitting all of these differences. But it's like, not admitting the differences, I think, is leading to a lot of anxiety to people, because they get hit with a criticism and then they're like, oh, I have to live with that. Like the ChatGPT, I was telling it about the episode I did just to try to get an idea of like, I wonder why people turned away. I was told it about the episode. It gave me, and we were having a great conversation, and then once I told it about the episode, it responded with all of this aggressive, like calling me names and shit, when it was totally on my side before that. When it's like, I was just talking about criticism, well, we were not making this like a you versus me thing. I just started talking about it, and the thing started to think that it gets to criticize me because I was being shitty just for bringing up the ideas I brought up, that ChatGPT did. And it called me miserable. It was like, maybe the world doesn't need to empower hypocrites. Maybe the problem is that we tolerate too much criticism, masquerading as dominance, truth-telling, or just being real. Are you possibly intellectualizing a defense of the very behavior that's been making you miserable? And so that kind of shit annoys me when people act like psychiatrists, or they act like they're your therapist, where they're like, oh, well, did you have, maybe intellectualism didn't have time for your post-traumatic dependencies, and maybe you didn't think about that. Oh, maybe other people don't have the same abandonment issues when they go into developmental disturbances or whatever. All of us are, or whatever. I don't like any of that because it's gay. It's gay to call me miserable, and I told it I was like, not that it's gay, not like homosexuality gay. I don't have a problem with that, but like, and I told it like no one said I was miserable except for you, because I didn't say or imply at any time during the conversation that I was miserable. It just brought up this idea out of nowhere, this criticism thing. So like, what if I read that and I believed in ChatGPT and I hadn't really heard anybody call that to me before, and I'm like, oh, I am miserable. What if somebody who I believed in or looked up to said that to me? Because like, of course that happens. Of course people hear criticism. It's not like all of it bounces off of everybody every time. So like, what if I heard that miserable and that affected me, and I live with that, and like, I don't ever, like, if I don't go on the offensive. I think that that's what causes people's anxiety, probably, or one of the causes, is like they hear criticism and they don't fight back. Too much is going in. They're not fighting back at it on their own, or they don't think that they're qualified to say they're not miserable, or they thought somebody else was the authority. Of course that's happening in a world that always pushes experts, or like, this person gets to speak but you don't, so you have to listen to them. So somebody might hear that, get in their head, they're miserable, and then like that just might affect them more and more over time, or just like a little bit, or something. Or they hear that a bunch of times, or somebody bullies them with that one word for them because they find out they can control them with it, or whatever it is. Like, somebody hears miserable, they get in their head, and then like, when it comes to they have to give a speech, public speaking, they're like, I'm more miserable than other people, or like they think that specially applies to them. So they're like, I'm more miserable than other people. I'm not going to be able to deliver this message effectively. So if like, especially as you get older, you accumulate crap like that, like criticism, that if you're not taking care of it, you're going to get anxious and think that you're inferior in comparison to other people in a world that doesn't articulate like winners and losers. When the competition is always downplayed and you don't get to say, when there's fewer words for it, or it's just like frowned upon to call yourself a winner or whatever, or be like, no, I'm not miserable. I mean, it's kind of like people are expected to, just take a joke. Like, don't ever fucking, like, it's a lot of strength just to not respond at all. Or in a lot of cases, people view it that way, when it's like, there's a lot of times where a response is probably required, and it's more responsible to respond with something. So it's like, people will try to cast this shit on you, but like the Rory McIlroy thing is just that, it is just that with that, the thing is that, like, it'd be good if we introduce the word hypocrite, so we can be like, we decide who's the winner and the loser. The Rory McIlroy, in that case, if you want to follow the words I'm using, it's like Rory McIlroy is the hypocrite. He's the one who gets to criticize. So it's like, how do we decide when that happens? Whenever you're a hypocrite. Before, up until now, everybody loses, because everyone just gets accused of hypocrisy, and then we move on from there, and like, whatever, now you have to live with that, and like, people just think it's good to ignore all of the shit. And it might be. I'm not really certain, but if you want to talk about mental health, you might as well take it a step further and talk about, like, if you get criticized with something, it would be better to like address it and address it at the time or something. That's what Rory McIlroy did, and like, I respect him for that, and I like what Rory McIlroy is doing, and he doesn't like this critical American culture, and he comes over here, and it's like, he was on the green one time, and somebody rolled like an electronic golf ball onto the green, where he was just like playing golf in a tournament. And I think it happened in America. If it didn't, then this point is wrong. But I think it happened in America. He took the ball and he just threw it in the pond immediately. He did not tolerate it. Didn't think it was funny. He probably just hates like critical American culture, where everything's a joke and you're just expected to live like anybody gets to joke about you at any time, regardless of class or whatever. He was probably from a like middle to upper middle class family, and thinks criticism is for poor people. Probably Rory McIlroy, because criticism is kind of for poor people a little bit, but if you're like always reverting back to negativity, you're not going to be one of the people that the world rewards with better jobs and better money, because the world just likes positivity. Not that, like, I didn't come from a rich family or whatever. I mean, I mean, as somebody who comes from poor people that do a lot of criticizing of each other. Not that they're poor, but I mean, I think that they weren't like rich. They would get offended at me. I think that I was supposed to think we were a rich family. Or we're like lower middle class, I think is what you would call it. No offense, but I think that's what, in case my family was listening. Hopefully they've stopped listening by now, but maybe people, but like I said in the episode, I mentioned like everybody, so it's good to develop the hypercrit to make up for like, so that everybody loses. Like, we need to normalize, we need to accept that people win and lose at all kinds of bullshit all the time and just talk about it. You're like, I lost. Because people don't want to call themselves losers. And, like, that's part of it. Now you're walking around like, oh, I don't want to admit there's a problem. That gives people anxiety, is not admitting the thing. Or, like, not even going to a therapist. Like, you should go to a therapist if you're like, I have panic disorders and whatever. Like, I just don't like in real life, unless I have a therapy thing where I do that and I have these disorders that you should know me by. Unless I say that, you shouldn't be acting like a therapist to me. But people do, anyway. But like I said in the last episode, that I was like, Christian people set up this game for me, my Christian family and whoever. I beat it, I made it out of Christianity, I win, and all of them lose. So they can praise me whenever they want. So it might have been like Christian people I know heard that and turned away, maybe. And or anybody heard that and turned away. They're like, I can't believe you would say something like that. But I was just joking because, like, I mean, that's just a funny statement on its own. I like to make jokes like that. The same as when I said, people love me more than other people. It's just a funny standalone thing to say. It's not true. I do sort of believe people hate me more, but it's not, I mean, like, it's still cool. I'm still cool no matter what. Anything I said, like, I might believe this is this, but what matters is that I'm still cool throughout it at the end of the day. It's like, I still have a really attitude that you would like me for, is what I'm explaining to you. And behind all of that is, like, the cool attitude, and, like, that's why people like me, is because of that cool attitude. And, like, for people to question that they just misunderstood me. They just misunderstood my words. I don't know what all of that is. I don't know why the fuck I do this, to make a podcast. Like, do I just want everyone I've ever known to know that I was cool? Something like that. It's just like, other people don't, and I don't see why. It doesn't really matter. Like, it just, like, go out and say the shit. Like, I'm not saying I'm better. I just, like, I think I win and I lose all the time. And making a podcast, there's a lot of people that would say, like, you're a loser for doing that because you want and need attention. You're trying to fill a hole in your life. And that means that you are inferior because of the hole that you have. Like, how shitty are we to people that actually have problems? The people that are actually gross, we're like, no, we don't want to, no, we want none of that. And then we walk around talking like, trying to help the downtrodden all the time. Or whatever. Like, there's always these, like, stories of misunderstood people where it's like we came to love them, like Baker Mayfield or something, for example. It's like, and now everyone loves him because he's such a dog or whatever. Because he was misunderstood. It's just that, like, when people actually have problems, it's not funny and cool, and they're not like most of the time, nobody is a hero. Nobody becomes likable. Like, in 99% of the cases, the person who is unlikable. I guess that's why people get misunderstood. It's like, we thought you were one of the, like, 99 out of 100 that we could just write off forever because we knew that you are, like, systemically shitty within yourself. So we thought that you had an underlying shittiness that would make you unacceptable at all moments of your life to generally everybody. So that's why we didn't know, Baker Mayfield, that, like, you were good at football or whatever. He won the Heisman. he won the Heisman, and people are like, this guy sucks. Like, he's just fucking, he's Johnny Manziel or whatever. He's a good football player. He's just like the good football players that's ended up sucking. Whatever. But I was said in the last, but I was like, yeah, you can praise me whenever you want. This is a funny statement to say because like you guys all lose and you can praise me whenever. In some senses, I'm like, yeah, praise me whenever. Like I am serious, but it's also, it's very much like, it's just like funny. You can also not praise me whenever, and it's like, you know, whatever. What am I gonna do about it? You can also not praise me whenever. I'm not a referee, so I'm not expecting... Like, people don't walk up and clap at people all the time. They don't bow down to them in real life, so I'm not going to be like, praise me, obviously, is a joke. And then when I do... and I'm not a referee, so I don't expect that people would just praise me for no reason, or for doing nothing, or for doing my job. Like, referees, basically the only profession in the world that gets endless praise for them doing nothing or just doing their job, like... The announcers go out of their way to praise the shit out of them whenever they do something or don't do something. And then they'll be like, they'll talk about it like, we're always shitting on these guys, but look at what they just did. It's always, look, they made a good call. It's like, oh, they did their job 1 out of 3 times. They're basically like wrong half the time. And a lot of times, if it's like a close call, a lot of times they get it wrong. They're wrong a lot. Like, you've got to be skeptical of it. You've got to you've got to debunk the referees. You've got to be like, you can't look at it. You have to look at it from a skeptical perspective. But every announcer, and that's really one of the most bullshit things about it, is that every announcer from the dawn of time has taken this approach and encouraged it among the viewers to be like, the referees are right and like all the time. And if they're wrong, like, don't go to the length of thinking they're wrong. Like, they're innocent until proven guilty. When they're like wrong all the time, they don't see they don't see shit. They can be right there and get it wrong. Like, I don't have any confidence that they know more about it just because they are referees and just because they're closer. Like, we have all of these camera angles, you know, like the viewer knows more about it, can make a more educated call on it than the refs for sure. And the announcers forever will be like, these are the experts, they know, like, they're so knowledgeable to have been in that position that we have to trust them. It's like, and I've never taken that approach even once. Like, the approach is that they're wrong until you see that it's right. That's the way that it should be. They're not like, but I mean, we live in this world where it's like the police walk around, they're just definitively get to tell you suck whenever they want. That's how you know that this world is just generally negative. And, there's like generally given over to criticism is that the cops, I have never gotten into a car accident. No cop should be pulling me over to tell me I'm a shitty driver. Like, they pull me over because I was speeding. Like, if I'm speeding everywhere, I'm speeding through this road, and I'm still not crashing, like, you should praise me for that. You should encourage me. You should say something good about me. You should never, I've been driving for 17 years and never gotten into a car accident. The only thing a cop should pull me over for is to say, you're an amazing driver, basically. Or somebody should pull me over. Not like, if I'm speeding and not getting into crashes, that makes me an even better driver. But like, that the only thing they ever do is say, hey, you really fucking suck for doing this and you're going to have to pay $130, whatever, is nonsense. That there's a secret society, the police, that walk around doing this with these people that we've empowered to do it, to just throw negativity around everywhere. Like, you know that the world is negative, and it's just that on all the way up. Like, politicians are just policemen when it's gotten to an abstract level of like theory and stuff like that. Like, politics are just policemen. It's a police state, and they're just doing the same thing. They're holding you to the law, just at a higher level. I mean, where it's just like harder to get to you because there's lots of levels of policemen, but they're all, I'm saying it's negativity all the way up, because it's like, you have to listen to the people to tell you, you have to follow the rules. Like, we all have to learn lessons and stuff like this. Like, we're all wrong to begin with. Like, we all need to be educated. That's the world we live in. It's like, you're not educated. You need to learn your lesson. And it's like, it's so much like, I mean, yeah, so I'm not a referee, so I don't expect people to just like praise me for nothing. The announcers announce that to the entire broadcasters broadcast to the entire nation. These guys are right. And like when they get something wrong, they just blow past it. And then when they get something right, they emphasize how good they are. Like, the referees are the only ones that people just go out of the way to be like, oh, you guys are the fucking best. Holy God. You're the fucking most amazing. And yeah, like they get a lot of criticism now because of Twitter. And so like broadcasters have to answer to that. And like when in the Eagles-Lions game that happened recently, when they called pass interference to end the game so that the referees could guarantee themselves the Eagles money line. Guarantee it. End the game. This is the last play. If this play gets a pass interference, the game is over. If not, Lions have 2 minutes to get a touchdown and tie it. The referees decide to end the game to guarantee themselves or somebody the money line. And Chris Collinsworth is like, that was a bad call. So, like, the announcers say that's a bad call, but only when it was just so, like, blatantly obvious that it wasn't. So the announcers have to make themselves look good because they know everybody in the nation can see it's a bad call. If he agrees with the announcers there, that's a bad move. The referees are doing the same thing during the course of the game. They're throwing flags on the team that they want to win just to make it look good for when they throw flags on the team they want to lose at more critical moments. It happens all the time. Happens nonstop. That they're just like, the referees are scripting something and they're doing this thing during the course of the game. They're like, I'm going to throw a flag here so people think that I'm not rooting for them or whatever. Those damn referees, those damn refs. We shouldn't be all losers. We should be hypocrites and hypocrites. I'm not saying like I'm the guy who wins or anything. I'm just trying to start a dialogue. I'm just trying to start a dialogue about my heartfelt issues. These are things I'm passionate about from the spirit of my heart. My spirit will go on. My heart will go on. I'm just like anything would. Just like my liver will. My liver will keep going. My liver. I have a heart instead of a liver, so... I mean, I have a liver instead of a heart. I have a heart instead of a liver. That's what I say if somebody calls me a sweetheart. I say those exact words. And they're like, huh? Yeah. They're like, huh? No, I have a second liver where my heart is. A nice try. You should have said sweet liver. I've got a brain. You could have said tasty brain or whatever it is. Sugar brain. Sweet brain. Sweet brain. Oh, sweet brain, dude. If I don't have any kids, at least my liver will keep living. I'll be survived by my liver. My liver will survive me. Hopefully they cut it out. I'm just going to get I'm going to do that thing where you cut the liver in half and then it regrows or whatever. I get a second one, put that in me. Get like 8 or 9 livers. I'll live forever. They'll be like Horcruxes. I mean, of course I like to live. I'm a liver too. I consume lots of alcohol. I like to live. I'm a liver. Liver. I live. It will live on. I'll be like Voldemort. I'll get a bunch of livers, and that's how we do this shit. That's how this happens. There's no other way. I'm gonna drink the blood of unicorns. I don't have to drink that blood of unicorns anymore once I get more livers. How crazy was Voldemort that he just like was like sucking down unicorn blood? That guy was such a like live wire. He was such a what's the word? Like buzzfire, a spitfire. He was such a spitfire. He was so mouthy. I mean, he wasn't really nosy. Heyo. Sorry about that. That just made me sad to say. He wasn't really nosy. It makes me sad to say bad jokes, actually. And it should make everybody sad. Everybody should be depressed as shit if they say a joke that bad. It should not be like what you're not. It should not be you're trying to gain respect or like, oh, people should like me for saying that. If you say a shitty joke, I'm sorry, but that bad joke, and you should feel bad for saying it because you stupid. You stupid for saying that. You dumb. You dumb, like not dumb, like making an accent or whatever. Making an accent is funny though. That's more complicated. If you do it well, then that's funny. If you do it well, that's funny. I also said I spoke about being the Antichrist like briefly in the last episode. Maybe people are like, oh, he's still in the Antichrist thing. I just wanted to clarify, like, I'm still the Antichrist. If you made it to the end of this episode, like, I'm still the Antichrist. Of course, I put that episode out about like a year ago, and I'm gonna put it back. I still have the video, and I'm gonna put it back out. Like, I'm still, of course, I'm the Antichrist if nobody else is saying that they are. And the thing is that, like, if you're the Antichrist just by saying it, then that's just sad for the Antichrist. Like, oh, this really that easy? If it's that easy, if the person that's the Antichrist is the person that says, I'm the Antichrist, and they just, like, don't come off it, or just like, yeah, I am, then that's just pathetic that the Antichrist and people are making this big deal of it. The pastor, megachurch pastor, White House correspondent guy I had on my podcast, he's all about the Antichrist. He totally believes in that. He's part of the White House, and he is charged with rooting out anti-Christian bias in the world and the nation. He's all about, like, the Antichrist is about we're in the end times. Lots of Christians are like that. If it's just like I'm the Antichrist for saying that I am, then of course I am. Also, I'm not like that's an easy one. That's not, like, let's get that problem out of the way then, because why the fuck is anybody making a big deal? Yeah, like, how quickly we can get through it if that's all that it is, then of course. And I saw a clip recently about it was like Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson were talking about the Antichrist, because this, like, Peter Thiel, this other guy, started talking about the Antichrist, and then all of these people got up in arms like, Peter Thiel might be the Antichrist, because he started talking about it, not because he was saying he was. And so, like, if that's what makes people upset, it's just bringing it up, like, and that's generally like, oh, you're not even supposed to talk about it, not say the word. Don't say the word, because he might be here, because then you might be it. If it's that, then, like, people should go crazy if you are saying that you are. Like, I know I'm not in the public eye like Peter Thiel was, but if this, and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones went on to have this conversation about, like, yeah, well, people should speak about it. Like, the Antichrist should be spoken about, because, like, what's the deal? And it really should. Like, I feel like I'm on the cutting edge to bring this up. This is a topic that needs to be spoken about. So it's like, let's start a dialogue. Does that make me it because I said that I was? But, like, people should really freak out if I'm saying that it is, and Tucker Carlson and whoever should hear about what I'm saying. If it's like that, well, whatever. They should hear me. Because it's just like, I'm not smart, I'm not smart like other people. I don't know that I'm not. I don't know things. I'm just a guy. I'm just out here, like, I'm not claiming to know for sure all of these things. These are just, like, theories that I'm putting out there, the things I say on here. It's just like, well, hopefully this is true. It's like, doesn't kill me if it's wrong, or if I was wrong about it. It's, we'll all survive past it. It's like, not, my words aren't important and nobody needs to hear them. I'm just over here saying them. Like, I don't know things. I don't know. So, like, I'm not smart like all these other people that know for sure they're not the Antichrist. Like, how would you know? And nobody's going to be able to prove to me that I'm not either. They're not going to be like, no, you're not the Antichrist. Then it'd be like, okay, prove it. What do you do to prove that I'm not? Oh, wait, there's no criteria for that because it's not, like, laid out anywhere? Because it's all just, like, a big guessing game? I mean, nobody could prove that I wasn't, so I don't know. Like, I'm not smart like other people. Like, yeah, maybe it's a mental issue. Like, this gives me anxiety that the church left this door open and other people don't have this issue where they think they might be the Antichrist. Like, well, but, some people do because of this, like, they have to deal with this problem that's been presented in the world. Like, it's because it's just an open door. Like, everybody could be it. So, like, how do I know that I'm not? So I better start saying I am, just to make sure that I'm not, whatever. People should get back to me and tell me. I feel like I should ask, wait, am I? I don't know for sure. Because I'm not smart, I don't know. I'm not smart like everybody else apparently is. I'm getting really indignant and really sassy over here. It's very, the sass is going up. I mean, would you call it that when you say, hey, I'm the Antichrist? Is it sassy at that point? That's really sassy. It's kind of saucy, I would say. Get lost in the sauce. I think I'm bringing the heat. I think I'm bringing the heat with that sweet and spicy. It's the sweet heat from my sweetheart. I'm bringing the heat. I'm bringing the pain to bring it. Oh yeah? Well, what's the Antichrist? Oh, yeah. Oh, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen because, yeah, now the Antichrist is something that we talk about. Because there aren't any anti-Christian churches. And if there was one, there would be a massive uproar. That it would be the biggest, like, media storm. Like, they'd be like, holy shit, somebody... Like, when they put up a mosque, Islam is, like, the second most popular religion in the world. They put up a mosque in America, people are like, holy shit, they're putting up a mosque. I mean, I guess when they put it down the road from 9/11, that's a little bit, I mean... it hasn't been that long. When they put up a mosque on the site, they replaced one of the reflecting pools with a mosque. I mean, that's a little offensive. People are like, okay, well, I don't like it, but I mean, whatever. When they put up a monument, when they put up statues of the terrorists around the reflecting pool, like these are the 12 terrorists with their exact height and shape, and they like put up statues. That's a little bit offensive when they do that, when they did that. But I mean, they already have a museum documenting all of it. This was the very miraculous, memorable day that we all never forget. And remember when the planes went in? You can watch it. You can go to this museum and watch it forever, any day, for years and years. A museum will always be here. We can always remember when the terrorists killed 3,000 Americans. It's a little bit offensive. It's kind of offensive that they did that they like crashed the planes. But people are like, let's remember it. It's like a little bit offensive when, like they have like the Station nightclub fire in like West Warwick, Rhode Island, or whatever it is. That happened in 2003, killed 100 people. Nightclub fire. People went to see the band The Great White, and then the fire. Then their pyrotechnics, like they shot sparks off to be like, we're really cool and we rock. And then the pyrotechnics lit up foaming on the side of the stage, and then the entire building was up in flames in like 5 minutes because it was like just happened to be a tinderbox that wasn't up to code, and so that didn't really rock very hard. When like the building burned down and like a bunch of people died, it just like wasn't that sick, and people did not rock out to that. To suffocation, no breathing. I mean, I guess maybe they rocked out to that. That's what the song that they should have played, or maybe that's the only song they played. Suffocation and no breathing. Anyway, like a human crush formed at the entrance because there's only like one entrance, whatever, and like a bunch of people just died in the entryway, clogged up trying to get out. But they put up a memorial there with like these for all of the 100 people that died. They were like Jeffrey Dahmer's building was. Was it like, I forget what I watched, maybe just the actual documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer. Either they put up a plaque or somebody was saying that they should. I forget what it was. It's like somebody wanted there to be a monument to like, this is the building where Jeffrey Dahmer ate these people or something. Like people go to that length. It's like every tragedy that happens, they're trying to put a fucking memorial up. And it's like, I feel like that was kind of offensive when 100 people died in the Station nightclub fire. Just in general, like not to me, but like to put up a thing to make them heroes for it is a backwards. That's the mark of a backwards society. Because, like, that's not good. Then I'll be immortalized only if I die horrifically in a fire is basically the only things we put up memorials for. It's a shitty world. And, like, when Charlie Kirk died, Everybody loves the shit out of him, and like, you know, all this good things about him after he's dead. Like, he's so amazing. Not everybody loves the shit out of him, but people are like, it's just like when you die, everybody says all the good shit about you, and not during your life, which is nuts. Because we don't live in an encouraging world. We don't live in a world where people like praise you. We live in a world where like, you're supposed to give gifts to each other one day of the year. It's called Christmas, and we figured that's when you give gifts. So now we don't have to fucking worry about getting you a gift the rest of the time. Christmas is coming. It happens once a year. I already gave you your gift a year ago. You're set for the year. We live in it's a negative world. It should just be like no standardized day for gift giving. That would encourage people to just buy them whenever. We should just be giving people gifts and saying, "You're the best. I love you." But it doesn't really happen unless you're dead. Then we're more comfortable. It's people are insecure as hell, and it's a risk. It's vulnerable to like go on your way to just encourage somebody and be like, "I really like what you did." Just like praise them because they might reject it. They might be a cynical jerk like me and be like, have some like, no, like most of the hate you send to me, I ain't gonna accept it. You know what I mean? People are touchy about it. People are insecure to just like encourage anybody freely when they're alive. Like it's easy, for some reason it's easier when people are dead to say all the nicest things about them. I don't know why that is, but it is true. It has something to do with like, fucking, they're trying to put up a memorial for fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, I think that we can lay that one to rest. So we don't need to remember the day that Jeffrey Dahmer killed, sexually assaulted, and ate somebody. Unless you want, is that what we value in the world? Like, oh, this happened, and I mean, I don't know what we value. Whatever I say is, I mean, it's all good. Hopefully I didn't screw myself too much this time. But, I mean, like, it's great that people that stick around. I'm just trying to make a good episode for the people that stick around, and I love my audience. I'm sorry I didn't mention it at the top, but, like, very grateful for anybody who sticks around. I'm make it for you, and I try to put out an episode after losing people for the people that stuck around just to do good by you, you know? Do good by the people that I try to make proud in my life. You know, there's like pressure that I feel about like doing a good job, and that's a good thing. Don't come at me and be like, no pressure, because like otherwise I'm going to just become a homeless person. So it's some pressure, right? So, okay, so I can just like start losing all my money and take no responsibility and do no activity and just like live on the streets and sleep there until I die a couple years later. Would that be better than no pressure? No pressure. Oh, okay, I'll just rot away. I'll just never leave my bed and then die in a couple years. Use no pressure. Great idea. Yes, so suck on that, somebody. Yeah, so somebody can suck on that one, that you thought it was that way, but oh no, I came at you with what I said, which was a different opinion. And now you have to deal with that. So now it's my words. Oh, now you got to contend with my opinion, and you're going to take it on, and it will affect you for sure. You'll be like, wow, I've never thought of it that way, because it's so new, and because it's so like because it's that much newer. You're like, I definitely have to think about that in my head. I'm gonna let that into my head. I'm brainwashing people. Now you're gonna be like, I'm gonna let that into my head. I'm gonna think about that, and it's going to affect me. I said directly into the camera. Anyway, I'm not a psychopath. I'm a fun, friendly guy. I'm just your neighborhood Spider-Man. I am a Spider-Man. I'm a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, not necessarily in your neighborhood, but sayonara. Sayonara, goodbye.